Okay guys, I'm back with part 3 of Jeffrey Epstein. Sorry it took me so long, but researching this guy is really dark. And this guy, he was really getting to me, so I kind of took a break, but I have to finish 3. So, the conspiracy surrounding Epstein. Okay. I don't even know where to start. This guy is just such a monster, but okay, I got this article from August 29th, and it says a growing number of people believe that Epstein was murdered in his cell. And if you ask people what they believe, only 33% of Americans believe that he actually committed suicide. So, there's that. And then the chief medical examiner ruled out foul play in Epstein's autopsy, but that could be easily swayed as were they paid off, because pretty easy to do that. I mean, take someone out, make it look like a suicide, done deal, right? But people have still speculated over the death conspiracies involving the Clinton family and President Donald Trump. And people speculated that Epstein was murdered because broken bones in his neck. One of the broken bones in his neck was the hyoid bone, which is, I'll insert pictures, but it's right here. It's like a horseshoe-shaped bone in your neck, and usually with that kind of fracture, it's associated with both suicidal hanging and strangulation, because it's right here. And usually, if people hang themselves, they break their neck. But in a lot of strangulation cases, it's right down here. And in the picture that I'll show, it's in red what bone it is. I mean, when you think about most people strangling their people, kind of dark to think about, but like, I watch a lot of Dateline and true crime. But you think they're going to go right here normally, right? And with a hanging, usually you see broken bones in your neck lower down. So, a broken hyoid is more commonly related to homicides, but it can be evidence of a suicide, so that's not clear cut. And if that bone is broken, that generally raises questions about strangulation, but it isn't definitive, so again, you can't tell. And another thing is, usually if someone's strangled, they get, I think it's called piccoli, don't quote me, but where blood vessels in your eyes, you know, they're like dots, broken blood vessels. But I think that can be consistent with hanging as well, so, and they never mentioned that in his autopsy, but I just thought of that from a Dateline episode. So, after Epstein's death, the hashtag Clinton body count was trending on Twitter. Hashtag Trump body count was also trending. But I believe President Trump did use that hashtag, you know, the Clinton body count, which wouldn't be surprising. I really don't want to get into the Clintons because I don't want to disappear. So, Trump has also been accused of sexual misconduct by several women, including one who claimed the president raped her as a teenager at one of Epstein's parties. I don't know if that's fact, that's just what I read. While Trump denies all the sexual misconduct allegations, some people have speculated that Epstein may have dirt on him. And it seems like Epstein had a lot of dirt on a lot of people, so you don't know. You really don't know. And according to court documents unsealed earlier in August, Trump took one trip on Epstein's plane, flying from Palm Beach, Florida, to Newark, New Jersey in 1997. But Trump has made claims that he hasn't talked to Epstein in years, so, I mean, this is 1997, 22 years ago, so. And then following Epstein's death, reports surfaced about MCC, that's where he was held, going against normal protocol, including incidents of guards sleeping on their shift, Epstein being housed alone, and prison facing severe staffing shortages. And I'll get into that later, but I'm just bringing up some claims. Epstein had previously been put on suicide watch, but was taken off on July 29th. Guards were still supposed to check on him every 30 minutes. And allegedly, when he did the deed, he hadn't been checked on in 3 hours, roughly. So they say a federal investigation into the circumstances surrounding his death was announced earlier in August, with the FBI and Justice Department's Inspector General's office joining the probe, but I really don't know if they're going to continue. I really hope they do for the victim's sake, but yeah, here's some other facts. An Epstein accuser says Prince Andrew knows exactly what he's done and that she won't stop until he's brought to justice, because we know Prince Andrew was pretty involved, or allegedly involved, with Epstein's misconduct. And then resurfaced video from 2005 police raid on Epstein's mansion shows a mysterious photo seeming to show him with accused Madame Ghislaine Maxwell in the White House. So him and Ghislaine were in the White House. That's weird. So investigators say some of the footage taken outside Epstein's cell the night he died is unusable. And to me, totally unacceptable, because this is a federal jail, and I believe every 15 feet there are cameras, and those cameras are there to protect the COs, to just, they should be working. Why are they malfunctioning? That, when I heard that, I knew something was up, something's wrong. And Epstein had an oil painting of Bill Clinton in a blue dress hanging in his Manhattan house. When that came out and I saw that, I was like, what the hell? And why does he have that? I mean, what do you guys think? Why does he have that painting of Bill Clinton wearing a dress hanging prominently in his house? The day that came out, I messaged it to Justin at work, and he was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, that was found at Epstein's house. Yeah. And here's a quote. It was hanging up there prominently as soon as you walked in. So he was almost like showing this off, which is weird. And Epstein also kept a mannequin hanging from the ceiling dressed in a wedding gown. Noting how the doll was situated above a staircase. They didn't take pictures of this, but that's really creepy. Epstein's lawyers are highly skeptical of suicide. He wasn't despairing, despondent before death, so his lawyers don't even believe it's suicide. So when I get to the other part, it's just his lawyers don't believe it. So the morning that Jeffrey died, there's shrieking heard from Epstein's jail cell the morning he died. So what is that shrieking? If you're to hang yourself, I don't think you'd shriek. If you're being attacked, you'd shriek. But I didn't understand that. Why is he shrieking? That's just weird, right? And then one of the guards on duty wasn't a regular correctional officer, so I don't know. I keep seeing that they were short-staffed and stuff, but when you have a high-profile inmate, then why aren't you taking all the measures to make sure they stay alive for the trial? Because this dude, there needs to be justice. And his co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, she's in hiding, which I'm not surprised, because she was allegedly in a lot of acts with Epstein. She would recruit a lot of girls, the victims, and she would groom them and tell the girls how Jeffrey likes things done, and she's very much involved. She was like his partner in crime. So, court documents from 2011 reveal Epstein controlled several apartments in a building just blocks away from his $77 million New York townhouse and allegedly housed underage girls from all over the world. And that just makes me so sad. So, the primary questions. Why was Epstein taken off suicide watch and left alone with minimal supervision? And I'll get to here in a minute. He was put on suicide watch July 23rd when found unconscious with marks around his neck. So, I mean, they didn't find anything wrapped around his neck. He just had marks around his neck and was unconscious. But then they removed him from watch days later at the request of his attorneys and after daily psychological evaluations. From what I gather from Jeffrey Epstein, he is someone who has a narcissistic personality disorder. And I believe he's either a sociopath or a psychopath. But those two stem from antisocial personality disorder. People like that know how to manipulate. They know what to say. They're charming. They're charismatic to get what they want. They don't have feelings of guilt, of remorse. So he could have been feeding this psychologist bullshit just to get back into, off suicide watch. But that makes me wonder because the majority of inmates do have antisocial personality disorder. They are psychopaths or sociopaths. So why aren't these psychologists trained better to see people with those types of mental illness and know when they're trying to play them, essentially? Because I really do believe Jeffrey Epstein was at least a sociopath or even a psychopath. I mean, there's a distinct difference between the two, but I don't know him personally. This is going by from what I read, but I think the system failed him, and they should have kept him on watch. And it's like, why did they take him off days later? This dude is a high-profile inmate. They should have at least kept him around for the trial, and then whatever he does after the trial, so be it. But these victims need justice, and I think the system failed them terribly. So, in the hours before Epstein's death, his cellmate had left and wasn't quickly replaced as required, and he wasn't receiving the mandated regular check-ins, which is every 30 minutes. So from what I read, the guards were sleeping, and then right away the guards, they were put on leave and they lawyered up. They weren't talking. So will we ever know what really happened? I doubt it. And what I found out, which is really interesting, is former Israeli Prime Minister, I think it's Barak or Barak, I'm going to say Barak, had ties to Epstein. The ties go back over 15 years. Barak, who entered a business deal with Epstein in 2015, allegedly cut ties with him because he claimed he didn't know about his previous incarceration. He didn't believe anything like that. And he said he had nothing to do with his wrongdoings. He had no idea what he was doing in his crime life. This is such a pattern. As soon as people find out that you had ties with Epstein, we have no idea, what he's doing. Bullshit. And he had also been linked to as a frequent visitor to Epstein's properties. So that's what I found out about him. And then I have a page, there's a page on Facebook. It's about conspiracy theories. I just put the question, what do people think about the Epstein situation? A lot of people think he was murdered. If he is murdered, it's like, did they make the cameras malfunction on purpose? and the guards just said they were sleeping and let someone go in the cell and do their business. I mean, because, you know, something did happen. He did have that broken hyoid bone. So, there's that. It is possible that that could happen. Suicide, from my understanding, people with narcissistic personality disorder, they're not the type to commit suicide. They think too highly of themselves to take their own life. And Jeffrey, since he had that sweet deal back in 2008, I think he's going to get another sweet deal, and he's going to start talking about the other people involved. And I think the other people are scared, which is motive for murder, make it look like suicide, you know, clear cut. And then there is the theory that he somehow paid people off and he's alive and well somewhere. One person commented saying that he was part of the Israeli intelligence. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know, but I'm just saying what came back in the comments of my post. That, I don't know. They're saying that he had plastic surgery, just chilling in Tel Aviv. I don't know. Do I think that's likely? No. But I will put in a picture of Jeffrey Epstein versus the body of Epstein that came out. Stupid fly. And there is a significant difference. So, it's likely, but I don't know if it's probable. I think maybe the most likely is maybe someone took him out. Dare I say the Clintons? I don't know. He had a lot of dirt on a lot of people. I don't know what they're going to do with that safe that has footage of him recording underage girls performing acts on these men. I hope to hell they continue with the FBI probe, but I'm not counting on it because I don't know. The victims need justice, and I don't know if they ever will. It just makes me really sad. And suicide, definitely possible, definitely probable. Just with his personality type, I don't think he'd do it. And the way he was talking to his lawyers, it's like, I think he knew he had a sweet deal on the table if he started talking. And I think people knew that maybe he'd start talking, hence the whole murder conspiracy. And like I said, I don't have a clear-cut answer of what I think, but I'm leaning towards murder, that something sketchy happened, because I don't know, that guy does not seem like the guy that would just commit suicide, especially before a trial. I could see him going to trial, trying to fight it, exposing people, then if he got sentenced, then commit suicide. I can see that, but I can't see him taking his life before going to trial. I don't see it. So, my question to you guys is, what do you think? What do you think is possible and most probable? Because this whole case is just crazy. And it's like the more I dig, the deeper down the rabbit hole I fall. But just let me know what you guys think. I mean, as always, I appreciate feedback. And I don't know, I wanted to dig more into the Clintons, but I'm terrified. I don't want to disappear. And anyway, I hope you like the Epstein series. This guy is just unbelievable. And my heart goes out to the victims. I hope that, I know money doesn't solve anything or everything, but I hope that they're able to get a chunk of his estate. because they deserve some sort of compensation. I'm not saying I'll make it better, but just, they deserve that. So anyway, guys, I hope you have a good one. Let me know what you think about the Bill Clinton picture, about the pictures of him versus his dead body, allegedly. With the internet, you never know what you're going to get for sure, but that's just what I saw. And just let me know what you think about this, because it's crazy. So anyway, guys, I hope you have a good one. Take care and be kind.